Whew,
What a day.
what a day. What a day. Day 4 of our trip from Gurgaon to Jaisalmer. We are finally in
Just
Jaisalmer
since yesterday.
since yesterday.
Yeah.
This is the Sum Desert, but
It's a Hindi name, I think.
yeah, it's a heritage desert camp we are in. Very nicely,
Beautiful.
beautiful, and quietly located camp. And wow, what a day today. We started off by what, 10:30 a.m.
10:30 because we didn't get up in the morning
Yeah.
to go to the dunes. So we
Yes.
started late. So we pushed our dune riding to tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And today we had a breakfast, had a good sleep, rested
sleep.
well.
Yes.
And we started late, around 10:30, yes.
Right. And then we left for Longewala Post. And
Yeah.
before we reached Longewala Post, there were such huge landscapes. The vastness of the desert. Yes, we did see a lot of sand dunes, but before that, there was some gravelly patch
Yeah,
area,
it was like a
which,
hilly,
and then
very rocky terrain.
yes, full of pebbles and full of the perfect road for off-roading, perfect terrain for
Perfect
off-roading.
terrain. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
seeing our bikes, we got a little enthusiastic.
It seemed
And
perfect from a distance,
yes,
but it was quite challenging when we went there.
correct. That is before when our enthusiasm kicked in and we went near that vast terrain
Yeah.
to just climb on it.
And I went
Only
with
then
so
we
much
realized that how
confidence.
difficult it is to just do a steep climb using your motorcycle, especially the Ducati Desert X.
It was all gravelly, and I was super confident. I just like went on the first go. Like we didn't even like
Right. I was
think too
amazed
much
by your
about it.
confidence. Like, how?
We were like, we'll just do it. Like so we just went, stuck halfway.
I
It was a bit
was
scary. Yeah, it was. More than scary, I think it was a bit tricky to get the bike back.
well, for me it was scary because I was overly cautious. I'll do a safer thing of going around it because I did not want to drop the bike. Anything is fine as long as you don't
Neither
drop the bike.
I had those
It's a
plans.
mental barrier with me. I know I need to work on myself, but that was one. So you took the straighter route. I
Yeah.
took the other sensible
The
route,
what
and
do
then
you
I
call
made
that?
it in one go.
Trail.
You took
Yeah,
three
because that's
tries.
like a
I'll take the
fucking.
credit for that.
I mean, I'm sorry for the language, but that was a pagdandi, bro. Like people were using that.
It was a very nicely paved way which I took. I cheated somehow. I mean, if that counts as cheating, but yes, surely the view from above was really good.
Beautiful,
And then
beautiful. We only when we realized how high we are once we got on the top.
just thinking about it just gives me goosebumps.
Yeah,
And
I
then
did it in three attempts.
you did 3 attempts. I did one. I
Yeah,
took.
but stop with that.
I will stop. I will stop rubbing it in.
Once
But
you put the video, we'll know what trail you
oh,
took. So, how you did in the first
I was
attempt.
breathing like Darth Vader. Oh my god,
It was quite exhausting.
it was very exhausting. Good thing we had a good breakfast,
True.
but that got burnt as soon as we got our enthusiasm kicked in again when we saw a huge sand dune. So much adrenaline, and we really wanted to just
Yeah.
go above it. Quick side tip: if you ever plan to do this and you want to go to a sand dune using your motorcycle, A, get knobby tires. B, deflate
the
your
tires.
tires. Because if you don't deflate your tires, then there is no point in doing that.
Although it was stupid of us because we carried the tire inflators
Right, we did.
to actually ride on the
Ironically,
dunes.
yes, we had our
but
tire
we,
inflators
I
as
think
well.
again it was the adrenaline, and we just
Way
went
too
with
much,
it.
way too much. So
Didn't think through it
it's easy to see something that's soft and plain, and
from a
as soon as
distance.
the bikes just entered the sand area, it just your front wheel just dives in.
Yeah, these are heavy bikes, definitely front heavy, and
Yes.
not really meant for that terrain. I think I would say because they are quite heavy. Also, I mean, let's not blame the bikes. We are
I
not
was
very.
just about to say that
We
it's
are not
the
very
bikes,
skillful
it's the rider
to do that. Yeah, it's
who
the
has
rider.
zero experience, who is just overly enthusiastic and overconfident.
Yeah, true that, true that. I
But
mean, bikes I'm sure are capable, and people who are skillful enough will do that on any bike, I would say, in the world, irrespective of the weight of the
Absolutely.
bike. Because I've seen the videos of people taking the Desert X, taking the Himalayas to the places where I won't even like think that bike can go there.
applying the same concept of seeing various YouTube videos where people say that just dump the clutch and just give full throttle.
Yeah.
It's easier to see that and extremely difficult to apply that, because
Apply
as
that.
soon as you dump the clutch, the rear wheel starts spinning, of course, because you have switched off the ABS, and it just goes in.
Yeah.
And you keep giving the throttle, it just keeps going in. So
We
there
literally
is
parked our bikes without the stands in the sand.
at one point, yes, I did park the bike using none of my stands. It was just
Yeah.
standing there.
Yeah.
But what an experience that was.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, it was
a lot of
exhausting.
fun.
Still a lot of fun.
Completely
And
exhausting,
the guy,
worth
like,
it.
for whose house we climbed up to, who was like living on the top,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Who has 500 goats, by the way?
500 goats.
500 बकरियां आपके पास?
And the funny thing is, I asked him. He had a, I think it was a Bolero. It was parked down there, and I saw the tread marks going up. So I asked him, like, "Do you get your vehicle up there?" And he said he does all the time. And I asked him, "Is it a 4x4?" He's like, "It's not." So he comes from a distance. He just sends it to the
Uses
top, like full speed, and he's like, "Don't touch the clutch, just accelerate."
So that's the best trick that I could learn, but unfortunately I couldn't apply it on the first go. I took 2 tries this time,
But you
because
did
once I
in the
just
second time.
touched the plateau of it, and I panicked because the front wheel just wiggled a little bit, and I just pushed the clutch, pulled the clutch in, and then the bike just stopped.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't go. I couldn't go forward. I couldn't go backward. I couldn't go sideways. I couldn't go other sideways. I was stuck.
It's so
Thank goodness you
difficult, man.
came all the way down there, pushed me, so I went back.
And
And
you
then
rode
took a
up,
runway, and then I
all
went
the way up,
all the
and
way
I had
up.
to walk
Yeah, and then you had to.
all the way back.
What goes down must come up on its own. But
Yeah,
after
what
that,
fun.
after that, just long, beautifully made roads.
But you forgot, we once again got carried away, where my bike got stuck and we had help from the road.
Oh yeah. Okay, rewind a little bit. What'd you do?
Wrong way out.
we did do that. We thought that,
Yeah.
okay, we did make a fool of ourselves. Let's just try this one more time. Maybe second time's the better charm. We did that.
And that was
Again.
even worse, I think. I mean,
You
workout wise, I think it was worse. It was good, like all the way I went in, I got back.
That's true. Yes,
I
yes.
got stuck like 10 feet away from the main road.
You got stuck so much that only one
Yeah, half the wheel was-
one third of your tire was visible.
Yeah, it was.
It
had
was
sunk
all in.
It has sunk in. Do put a picture. If you
Of course,
have
of course.
The
The picture would, you would see the picture in the center of this frame. If I could edit that out and then put it here.
Yeah, it took
But,
4 people, by the way,
it
to
took 4
get the Desert
people.
X out of that
And
space.
luckily, the people are so helpful.
Helpful,
around.
yeah. They just stopped by.
They just
Yeah.
saw that 2 people dressed as some GI Joes were making a fool of themselves. They just got off and they started asking questions that, can we help? Duh. Please come.
And in return, they wanted to ride the bikes.
And then they wanted to ride the bikes, and
Once they
I
got it
thought
out.
that, they have really helped us. I just gave them my bike for like quick spin
Quick
around
spin.
it, and he was,
Yeah, that was
really,
kind of you.
really
That was
smiling
very
about
kind of
that.
you. I was too scared, like he'll drop the bike.
Yeah, of course, this is
And,
this comes under a superbike
so-
category. So as soon as he dumps the clutch, he's just gone.
I was a
So
bit scared.
it's a good
so
thing. I
was
just gave him a
skeptical.
Royal Enfield. Yeah, good thing. But he
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
But we returned the favor to the people whom we saw who were stuck on the road.
After that, we saw 3 people on a very small. The motorcycle must be this
It was
big, only this
I
big.
think it was a very old Splendor. I think
Very old. I think
second or third generation,
First
I would say.
generation Splendor, I would say.
I don't think it was the first
late
one, but
90s, I would say.
late 90s,
They
early
were just-
2000s, yeah.
They were just sitting on the bikes, and then
And they stopped
thought,
right. They passed through and they
yes,
stopped.
I
We
was
thought-
signaling you that,
Yeah.
okay, let's just go. He thought we were signaling them that, hey, stop, we need help. And as soon as he stopped, his clutch snapped. And then he couldn't start his bike. And then we tried to help him, but there was no locking nut below his clutch. So
yeah, I don't know how he was riding it so far.
it was the mystery.
We tried to fix the bike, but it was a struggle. Even she gave his toolkit and we somehow tried to figure it out. The problem was with the clutch, you have those 2 nuts from either sides and you tighten them up on the clutch cable. But one nut was missing. So it was just, spinning freely. So,
As soon as he would just put
We
it in
just-
gear, it would just take a jerk and stop.
so we
and
just
he
gave
would
them a hack, just keep the revs high and just keep gunning for it.
Which he did then, and he was grateful. Perfect. Bye. And he then,
Left us.
fortunately or unfortunately, he left his foot peg with us. Foot peg रह गया भाई.
That bike was falling apart.
That bike was falling apart so much. It was hilarious
They
just
were
to
like,
look at
I
the
think,
bike.
100 feet from us. Then we realized they left the foot peg there now.
But the highlight of the moment, I would still say, was us making a fool of ourselves, trying to think we can conquer the desert dunes, but we couldn't. Tires stuck? No.
Yeah, we couldn't. But
And
we
then,
have the plans to go back to it again tomorrow morning.
well, I plan to just.
We're going
But
to give it
tomorrow I
another
have no
shot.
plans to go on the.
But we're going to deflate the tires,
But I'm not going to do that. I'm just
carry the
going to
tire
talk about.
inflators. We'll see once we get there. You'll get tempted, I know.
No. I would get. I still know what my plan is. I would just park the bikes um, quite close to the desert and talk about 1 year review of this motorcycle which I have at my back, which is a Royal Enfield Himalayan.
Yeah.
And that's about it. That's my plan.
We'll see
I'm
that
not
in the
going to go
morning.
enthusiastic and all gung ho on the desert.
We'll know by tomorrow evening when we give the updates.
But okay, and nonetheless, we saw. Then after that, we left for the Longewala post.
Yeah.
Wow, goosebumps again.
Goosebumps. Amazing place.
The memorial is dedicated to the 1971 Battle of Longewala.
Yeah, I mean, I knew the story and everything
Yeah,
about
you come
it.
from an army background, that's why.
Yeah, but visiting the place, it's an amazing feeling. I mean, I go back to my childhood memories of growing up in the Cant, and because, yeah, but it was amazing. I mean, I think it's a good place to visit for sure.
Right, it is for sure. If you get a chance to visit Longewala post, please do that.
Yeah.
And then after that, we made our way to Tanot village, which is the last village in West India.
Yeah.
And then
But,
15-20 kilometers west of that is the actual line of control, Pakistan.
Which we couldn't go because we were on the bikes.
Yes, bikes are not allowed
It
there.
was such a bummer.
Who knew that? And we didn't do the research. And only cars are allowed, and up till 4 p.m. only. We reached there by 5:30.
5:30, yeah.
Yeah.
Because of our adventures on the dunes.
Who could blame us? They were so pretty. The dune was right there.
It's too tempting.
It's too tempting.
But no complaints, I think.
No complaints. No complaints. Highlight of the day still remains
adventurous day.
the scaling of the dunes. And on the way back, okay, before anything else, I have to really thank the weather. It
Beautiful
was
weather.
so pleasant. There was
just
no.
23 to 25 degrees across.
It was amazing because had the sun been really out, we would have been scorched.
Yeah.
We would have been scorched.
It even drizzled on the way back from
Yes,
Tanot.
and on the way back, but yes, good point. On the way back from Tanot village to
The moment
here,
we were leaving, actually, it
the
started
moment
raining.
we started to leave, it started to rain, and it was so mesmerizing to see that phenomenon. That rain also have. Of course, it rains all the time in deserts, but to actually witness that, amazing, amazing.
And none of us were in our obviously rain gears.
Comes also with a rain liner which gets nicely folded and inserted here. Not going to be using that as well because desert area. I don't suspect it'll be raining. Of course, it's
we were
nothing is
a bit
waterproof.
scared. We were still 2 hours, I think, from a camp. But yeah, it drizzled a bit. It did get pretty serious, I would say.
A little serious
somewhere
though.
in the middle.
Yep,
I
and
was
then-
a bit doubtful. Should we stop? Should we continue? But I'm glad you said let's carry on, and
Yeah.
we pushed through. So yeah, I
We
mean,
maintained our
it was
speed
a good
up
call.
to what 110 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
And as a result,
absolutely.
as soon as we crossed the patch, the rain just stopped, and that was good. I mean, yes. I mean, I have nothing to add to that. It's just a very, very good day. We came here to do
You don't
what
want
we
to talk
thought.
about the detour? You made us stay
Which one?
towards the north.
Where I took some other route as what Google
Leaving
Maps
the highway.
suggested.
Yeah.
I think that was a fluke.
But it was beautiful nonetheless.
Oh yeah.
I think we can't complain about the routes we have taken so far. Even the ones we have gone wrong,
Right.
it was also beautiful that didn't matter.
Some places the network is crazy good, and some places, as expected, it
Yeah.
just dips. And as a result, Google Maps will take you all over the place.
Yeah.
So after all that struggle, we made our way back to Sam Desert.
Just in
Sam
time,
Desert,
when it was
just
getting
in
dark.
time. 7:35
Reached,
we were here.
Before that, I
2
think.
hours.
7:20, 25 or
7:20,
something.
25, yes. We made good time on that. And yes, really excited for tomorrow where we head to Bikaner.
Yeah.
That's about 6 hours drive from here.
After the dunes in the morning.
After the... You'll go to the dunes. I'll talk about my
The
1
whole
year
ride was
ownership of the
about
Himalayan.
dunes.
Well, I am the Lisan Al Gaib of this. But yeah,
Well,
we'll
we'll
see
do
what
it
we
the
do.
right way tomorrow morning,
Yeah, yeah.
but we'll not push ourselves because we have a long ride ahead of us.
Let's
So
see.
we'll be cautious.
Let's see. I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow, but yeah, stay tuned and hopefully you would enjoy this video as well. This was day 4 of our journey from Gurgaon to Jaisalmer. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
बहुत लंबी बात हो गई.
I think this is going to be a longer video, but I liked it.
The biggest tip I can give you is don't litter this beautiful place. Just keep it with you. That's
Also, if
what's the point?
just ride our bikes like next to each other, doesn't make it a four-wheeler.
That's a good idea, by the way.
Like you see those in the parades, 26 January parade. Right? 2 headlights, 4 tires.
कहाँ से आया सर वैसे? दिल्ली से।
हम लोग गुड़गांव से आ रहे हैं.
Actually, technically 3 headlights. You have 2 already. So again, still we are illegal. Alright, let's head back to some desert.
Yeah.